Oh, hey everybody,
Wait,
how
not,
are you guys?
okay, not yet. Not that.
You said you pressed the button. Damn.
Hey,
You already ready and everything like that? Okay, let's do this right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of En-Syte. I'm your host, Steven, joined always by two of my favorite people, Dre, Shay. How y'all doing this afternoon?
What's
what's
cracking?
poppin'?
What's
What's going
good?
on, man?
Nothing much, nothing much. So if y'all notice, Shay is in a different predicament than y'all normally see her.
Yeah, I'm heading to work, y'all.
She on her way to get her grind on and make her money, like all
Gotta
of us
make
be
those
on.
donuts. Gotta make those donuts.
I know, right?
I do.
Got to make them. Got to make them. So, ladies and gentlemen out there, hope y'all doing well this fine. What's today? The 15th. This fine day of
15th of
October.
October.
The 15th of October. Man, got a whole three. Ooh, man, three. Ooh, three.
What up, Moni? What up, Moni? Moni, what's up, baby?
What's poppin', you guys?
What's
It feel
up?
weird not being able, like, I don't have no double screen. Like,
Yeah.
it really does feel weird that way.
Yeah, because you done got used to that for the longest. You were able to see YouTube and be with us at the same time. So me and Drake gonna be handling the comments right now. So just let y'all know Shay can't see nothing because she over here driving. So
So to the three people that's out there watching, hey y'all doing? Welcome to En-Syte. How y'all doing?
how y'all doing?
What's
How y'all
poppin',
doing?
y'all?
So now I made a little statement at the end of the last episode on Tuesday, which is a little bit of a deep thing. And I was like really thinking about it the past 2 days. And I really thought that this is something that not just needed to be discussed, but could be definitely expounded on, just to get a more in-depth, in detail opinion about this particular situation. Well, these particular situations. I'm not gonna say a situation because, in a sense, it sounds like just two dilemmas, two very, very fucked up dilemmas on top of that. So,
I mean, you can say it's effed up, but it all depends on how your version of how you looking at it.
this is true. This is very, very true. So we're gonna look at this basically from every perspective that we possibly can, y'all. We're gonna look at it from every possible angle that we can, because this right here, this particular topic right here, I believe is something that needs to be addressed, needs to be talked about, because people go through this every day, and a lot of people go through this in silence.
Mhm.
They go through this in silence and don't say nothing about it. They just go through the motions of it. So we're going to discuss on how it happens, where and when it happens, and all that lovely stuff right there. So we're going to discuss that. And let's move that out the way. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about. So the thing that we're talking about is people who are in love but not together, and people who are together but not in love. That is what we're going to be talking about today. So, hope y'all ready to dive in, because this is going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. So, man, so just off that, we all are grown. We're all adults. We know how it is, knows how it feel like to be in love with somebody. So we don't need to talk about that. We know how it is to be with somebody because we've all more than likely been in a relationship or two. There's no need to expound on that. What up, Nate? So there's no need to
What's up,
expound
brother
on that.
Nate?
So, but we're going to talk about these two particular dilemmas, these two particular situations, from every possible angle that we can. So we're going to first start off with people. Hey, Kim, how you doing? Love you too. So we're going to talk about the people who are in love. Oh, no, we're going to talk about the people who are, the people who are in love, but not together. That is what we're going to start off with at this current moment in time. So, either one of y'all want to start?
Okay, so hold up. Let me get right.
Okay, get right.
So you said we starting with what again? I do apologize.
No, you good. We
You
starting
said
off. We starting off with people who are in love but not together.
Okay.
Like, two people that's in love. We
but,
got two people that's in love with each other, but they are not together. Boom.
but the first thing you have to look at, what are the factors that they're not in love with? Why they're not together? That's the biggest thing. What are those factors? I mean, is it that one person is involved in another relationship already?
Yeah, it can be that.
Or is it to a fact that they both know they love each other, they want to be with each other, but they don't know how to get together?
That's another possibility.
Or could it be the fact is that that they were once together and something happened catastrophic, that they're not together anymore, but they still love each other, but they're scared to take that plunge to be back with each other.
That's a third possibility. Got any
So
more?
I mean,
Got any? I mean, you got any more? Because we going through every possible outcome we can. We're going to discuss every possible outcome and reason that we can as to why this particular side happens. So far, you have those three. Like one is in another
Alicia, how you
relationship.
doing?
One is in another relationship, or hell, both of them could be in a separate relationship. But that's basically tying into the other half of it. But we're gonna get on that later. So one is in a relationship. You have something that's keeping them apart. Go ahead.
Well, I got one more for you.
Go ahead.
What if even though they love each other, but what about when they together? They so damn toxic that they can't be together with each other.
Ooh, let me write this stuff down. Oh, I gotta write this stuff down. I gotta get my.
Why you shaking your head a little bit?
Get my paper.
That is that's the reality. Or they both could be in the situation and they love each other.
Man.
Yeah, that's oh.
All right. So toxic, something keeping them apart, one involved, and they were together. Okay, so far we got these four right now. But they were once together, then they broke up. Then we got one of them is involved in a relationship or something else outside of it is keeping them apart. And then they got like when they're together, they get toxic. Okay, so let's start off with one of them is involved with the other. So you have two people who are in love with each other, but one of them is involved in a relationship. So we already know
how did they get to that point that they're in love with each other, and that other one of them is already involved in a relationship.
That actually could be a build-up. It could be just a standard build-up of how someone falls in love.
So when you say they're in love with each other, are they creeping with each other?
We're not gonna say that they creeping with each other. We're not gonna go into the fact that they cheating.
I mean, what's up, Angie? What the fuck is going on in here? Hey, what's going on, Angie? We're talking about two people. What go again, Steve? I'm sorry. Let know where we at right now.
All right. So right now, right now we're talking about two people who are in love with each other but not together. So we're trying to expound on the fact of how this is something that actually becomes possible because people go through this in silence. So, yeah.
All right. So here go Brother Nate responds right here.
Yeah.
Brother Nate says sometimes we aren't mature enough to handle what's best for us.
That's true. That's very true. That's certainly true.
I mean, a lot of times, man, you know what's best for you, and you run from it.
Absolutely.
What's up, Ashley?
Hey, Ashley, and you run from what you know is good for you, and you don't know how to handle that.
Yeah, because that's what a lot of people do. I mean, that's a human response right there. That's a natural human response, which is the flight or fight thing. If it's something that you don't know about, something that's unknown or scary or something like that, you're either going to fight it or you're going to run from it. And lots of times when it comes to something like that, people run from it.
So Angie comes with a reply. Her reply is because they love each other, but they don't like each other.
Okay, that could be possible. That definitely could be possible.
That is a strong.
Okay, but when you say you don't like them, I mean, what you're trying to say is that, I mean, you in love with somebody, but you don't like them?
That's possible. Now, we all know that's definitely possible.
Yeah.
That'll go with tolerance. Like, I love you, but I tolerate your presence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually can be definitely something right there. That's another one right there.
I love you, but I tolerate your presence.
Yeah, and as toxic as that might really, really sound and really be, shit, that's reality.
That is very true.
Their mannerisms, their upbringing, they're too different. Oh, okay.
That sounds like Nate.
No, no, actually that was Angie. Angie came with that. He said that Angie said their mannerisms, their
Mm-hmm.
upbringing, they're too different. You can't live with me. Okay. Angie just dropping stuff real quick with
I
each
know,
other.
right? She
So,
she must not be driving today. She must not be driving right now. Cause she over here Johnny Two Thumb texting right now for real. But yeah, I mean, like I can understand the fact like you don't like a person, but you love them. I get that. I get that. But like Dre asks, what led them to that? Oh, she is driving. Ooh, okay, show off. Be careful.
talk texting.
Oh,
Oh,
got
she
you.
talks to okay.
Oh, she's got an open microphone. So my thing is this: how did it still lead up to that point of these two people, whether the fact they like each other or not, end up falling in love, and one of them either at the time or even later on got into a relationship. They fell in love with each other, but they never connected on that level. What
I mean,
made that happen?
like she said, you know, a lot of times, man, it's just that you feel like your opportunity is not right with that person,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes, man,
Oh, something happened in his background. He had to mute it. Something happened in his background.
Oh.
Oh, he muted and left. Oh, something definitely happened. See, he been kind of out of sorts this whole episode, y'all. I don't know what's going on over there, but something going on over
He's
y'all.
been unreachable a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good.
So, see, Nate said, I fell for someone without ever sleeping with her. Yep.
And that's look that there. I think that is the purest. There is that there is like the purest type of love ever. To fall for somebody and never like have any sort of physical intimacy with that person.
Yeah.
That's a different type of level. And then that's also a double-edged sword too. Like you falling in love with them, you know, and you ain't supposed to,
Uh-huh.
and you haven't like physically like
Has not done
been
anything
with that
physical with
person
them.
intimately.
you ain't touched that box, you ain't licked that box, you ain't rubbed that box, you ain't poked that box.
Ain't
I'm
did
just
nothing,
saying.
ain't done nothing with the box. But all of a sudden, that
Uh,
double-edged sword that Shay just said, just like when things go south, that double-edged sword, you ain't even got to worry about the edges. It's that point that's going to be coming through your heart that's going to hurt.
Man, you got that right. Hold on, we got a couple of comments I want to get to. They say you have different goals, different dreams, different ambitions. That's
Yes.
from Angie. And that is so true. That is so true because if they can't support you or see the goals and the things that you're trying to accomplish, then no matter how you feel about them, you can't be with that person.
Mm-hmm.
If they can't support what you're trying to do, Kim is saying that is beautiful. Talking about what Nate said, and brother Nate came back with what he said. I ran from her because I wasn't ready, wasn't mature enough to handle the responsibility.
What? Wait a minute. Did we just hear Nate ran from somebody?
Yeah, he ran from somebody.
What?
He admitted he ran and said, hey, he ran. He said he wasn't ready. He wasn't mature enough to handle this. They.
I mean, something. Kim, don't fall for Nate's bullshit. That's from Angie. Angie saying don't fall for
Angie
Nate's
just
bullshit.
shots fired at Nate like that, like that.
Angie, mama said, watch it. Talking about her baby. Moni said, shook. And Kim said, laugh out loud.
Don't be coming at Brother Nate. Brother Nate be coming with them hitters now, y'all. Y'all gotta watch out. Brother Nate coming with them hitters. He coming with them real words. Coming with them real words.
But Angie said, sorry, mama. But for real, man, you know, but a lot of times, you know, when you meet that one, and you know she's the one,
Yeah.
you don't know how to approach it. You don't know how to really, really put your heart out there. Even though your heart is there, you know how to put your heart out there. You know, I got a friend, man, and it's like he's really, really into this one person, but he don't know how to approach it or how to even handle the situation. And it's hard sometimes. But you can tell the attraction is there both ways, so very, very there. I mean, it's omnipresent. It's so big. But a lot of times, you know, you don't know how to put yourself out there. But a lot of times, man, you know, you have to go out there and just go grab what you want. You gotta be a go getter. Closed mouths don't get fed sometimes.
True, true, true. Closed mouths don't get fed, and that's the bad part because people, like I said,
Unless you're in the feeding tube.
people suffer in silence like real hard when it comes down to this, like real hard, and like they don't know what to do in terms of a situation like this because it's like you're in
But a
love
lot
with
of times
somebody.
it's your decisions leading up to that. It's your decisions leading up to where to the point where you want to be with this person is the things that you've done
True.
to not prepare yourself to be where you want to be at. You see what I'm saying? Does that
Yeah,
make
this is
sense
very
on
true.
that?
Yeah, no, it's very true. Yeah, you make sense. You make perfect sense.
Okay, here go Nate. Here goes Nate response. He said, "Yeah, Shay, it was different. I would go to her job to have lunch all the time. I just got out of a bad marriage. She challenged me to challenge how my thought process was perceiving things.
Mm. You muted,
You
Shay.
got
You muted,
you
Shay.
muted, boo.
My bad, I muted because my turn signal's like real loud. But did he ever, Nate? Did you ever go back to like get her though? Like when you felt that you was ready, did you ever go back and re-pursue her?
Mm. Did the chase
Yes.
continue once you were ready, sir? When you was ready to put on them track shoes, were you ready to pursue the chase? Because that's real interesting. That's very interesting. Because you
But
know that you weren't
but
ready at a
but
certain point, and then like later on, when you knew that you were ready, did you ever like try to continue to pursue that person afterwards? Like, did you try to reach back out to them and everything like that, or was it like,
all right, here you go. I went looking for her, but she left Chicago.
mm,
Yes.
Mm.
Oh, oh my God,
mm,
man.
All
That's not
right.
a real true Cinderella story. I don't know what it is.
All right
Woo!
then. So here comes Angie. Angie comes with, I'm in love with Keanu Reeves and he is in mad love with me. But society won't let us be together. We're not the picture perfect couple.
okay, so just put it
See,
out there. Hey,
take
Get
Keanu,
the
Angie
Keanu,
off.
fuck out of here.
Keanu, man, hey,
Take her off.
leave your wife, man. We got the perfect woman for you. She is in love with you, Keanu, dude, bro. Come on, you got to
Tomorrow,
come do
tomorrow,
it,
I hear you, Angie. Here go Nate. Everyone at her job knew I came back looking for her.
man.
Oh shit.
Oh, she
That's
says she's not married. Okay. All
Okay,
right, then go get him, baby. What's up?
go
What you
get
need
him
us
then.
to
He
do?
ain't married then. He ain't like damn. Go, Keanu Reeves. If you out there, man, if you ever watch this, come look for Angie. We know who she is. Reach out to me. I'll let her know that you look, man. You'll never find a woman like this, man.
You'll never find.
But boom,
blum blum
boom.
blum
But yeah, okay. Continuing on though. Now we went on to we talked about like they were involved with somebody else and things of that nature. Um, let's go on to this next part. Like, what is something that could be keeping them apart from being together? Like, they neither one of us in a relationship. They're both in love, but something is keeping them from actually following through and clicking on that level. What
One
could
of
be?
my hoes.
Huh?
blum.
One of my hoes.
What?
No, not okay,
Bruh.
not necessarily, but that could be one reason. But what about they trying to work on they inner peace? Most people don't want to be in a situation, even though they love one another or somebody happens to love the other. Most people don't want to. Well, actual adults don't want to get into no situation when they themselves didn't find their inner peace. Like most people believe that I have to make myself happy first before I can present myself to anybody.
I got you on that. I got you on
That's
that.
true.
So that's probably one of the reasons as to why they probably not together.
All right, that could be one reason.
Okay.
Bro, you got another one, Mike? You got another one?
Another reason could be that, like we said earlier, man, is that when they're together in a situation, you know how beautiful it may be with the love situation. They so fucking toxic together that it won't work.
Mm.
That
Right.
like you say, like Shay said, they find their own happiness inside themselves, but neither one has found it, and so they don't know how to communicate with each other for one.
That could be
They
another
haven't they haven't mastered the art of communication with that one person. I mean, you can master with everybody else, but the person that you want to be with, you have the hardest time trying to communicate with them. Nate said it's maturity.
Yeah. Like he said with the woman that he was in love with. He never slept with her, never bedded her, nothing at all. But he was in love with her. And then he just said that he was not ready, he wasn't mature, he wasn't ready to handle that responsibilities. And maturity is another reason as to why some people who are in love with each other don't continue on. And that's something that actually takes time. You actually have to grow with that. That's something that you can't just do overnight. You can't wake up to it.
Yo, bro, if you ever want to go find her, man, let's go. I'm with you, man. We take that road trip. We go get her, bro.
Hey, yeah, for real, man.
I'm down for it. Like, man, for real.
We get a full tank of gas and get the whip and let us know.
Road First, trip. We gonna have to hire an investigator or something. We gonna have to hire a female friend. But you know, females is real good with finding out information about other women. We gotta make sure she ain't married.
We ain't even got to. She on the Facebook page.
We don't go get her, bro.
Yeah, we gonna go get her.
Simone say, I'm in Team Love. # Team Love.
Man, we'll go ahead. Lock loaded. We'll get her. We'll hunt her down for you, bro. All day, bro. So,
Kim said you're right, Shay, about females getting the information, being that private detective. Man, yeah,
y'all better than FBI.
Y'all got an extra level of investigating type of stuff, man.
Just a picture and a caption.
Wow.
That's all of her page. There's a picture and a caption. Okay, we're gonna go straight FBI CSI in this mug. Then on this one, then we're gonna go just say the word, man. We'll dig up for you. We'll go ahead.
We on that mission.
We're gonna be on a mission. That's gonna be the next episode, y'all. We're gonna be doing road trips. It's gonna be a mission.
Moni said it might be restricted.
Yeah,
all right, man. Let's move on the loan, bro. Let's move on the loan, man.
All right, go ahead. All right, so we basically said like the things that could be keeping apart: maturity, communication issues, things of that and everything of that nature. We said that toxic could be a part of it as well. When they're together, it's a toxic situation.
Ooh. Read that comment there from Brother Nate.
Nate said we need books to read up. We need books to read up on our weaknesses and how to handle it. God, we need books to read up on our weaknesses. That first part right there, just let alone how to handle it. Bro, they call weaknesses for a reason, man. We can't handle it.
Man, but sooner or later we gotta face them and overcome them.
But see, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about weaknesses. Like the thing is, everyone's gonna have a weakness, but you're gonna find somebody that's gonna be their strength and it helps balance you out.
Yeah, but true enough. But a lot of times it's that when you got a weakness, you cannot continue to let that weakness overcome you. True. And you have to overcome that.
True.
To become the better person, be the better man, be the best person there is.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Kim, what Nate. You just say? You falling for Nate.
She falling for Nate. The five love languages, the secret to love that lasts. And Shay will hold her heart. Shay will hold her heart.
Love languages the other day. Did we share?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that the other day. The 5 love languages.
So the one part that we didn't talk about in terms of two people who are in love but not together, is that once upon a time they were together and not together anymore. And of course, unless the relationship was just all around just fucked up, just all around bad, people are still going to have some level of love for a person that they were with. Now, the thing is this. You have these people who are a certain level of love for each other, but they are still in love with each other, but not together. But they were once together. What is stopping them from getting back together if they're still in love with each other? Let's just go off of the scenario. They're not together, but neither one of them are in a relationship.
Okay.
Let's go off of that scenario right there.
Okay, they're not together. Neither one of them in a relationship right now, but they were together and but they still love each other. But how
Yes.
bad was the breakup? What did the breakup consist of?
We'll say the breakup consisted of, we're not gonna say cheating. We're not gonna say cheating. We're gonna say due to financial situations. We'll say it's due to financial situations.
Okay, but whatever the financial situation was, they need to show each other, especially whoever the one it was, that they're able to handle the burden of the relationship again, to be financially secure in what they need to do. And that's the biggest thing is, if you tricking off money, no, you can't. You got to stop tricking off the money.
Okay.
If you're not tricking off money, I mean, it's just certain things that you have to do inside the relationship to show this person, to reassure that person who you are.
Yeah.
And that's it right there.
All right. That's a good one. So I know the Shay ain't driving no more because she didn't grab the phone and turned it off. You got anything you want to add, honey, to that particular part right there?
It probably have a lot to do with growth. They probably felt that when they were together, they wasn't growing with one another. They was doing more so growing apart versus growing together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably one of the reasons why they decided to not be together, but still not in a relationship with other people and not together.
Gotcha.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. And then you just
Nate, she was saying the 5 love languages, the secret of love that lasts. And then Nate said, Shay, you hitting on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying.
That's why she be here. She be hitting on them words. She be hitting on them statements, y'all. That's why she here. So we basically right now just covered.
Problem, sweet.
We basically right now just covered, people who are in love and not together for the various different reasons, various different ways and reasons as to why they're not together, whether it be toxic, something else is keeping them apart, whether it be growth, maturity, and things of that nature. Ooh, we is dinging. That's a ding. That was a ding. And that was a loud ding in my ear.
My bad, fam.
Oh, that was you. I thought that was Shay's car, son. And we basically covered the fact that they were together, no longer together, and the reasons as to why they're not back together. Basically, both of y'all expounded on that greatly. So let's go to the other side. Let's go to the darker side of it right now. This is considered the darker side because we have people who are together and everything like that, nice relationship or whatever the case may be, and not in love. Now we already know.
Man, Nate got a comment right there. Nate got a comment.
Okay, Nate said, "Remember, we get together for a reason, but unfortunately, we date like kids." Oh, man, bro. Brother Nate. She's supposed to. And Nate also said, "Well," and Moni said exactly. Nate.
That's true. That is definitely true because the first thing that normally comes out of our mouth, if it's not the first thing, is something that is like, "Oh man, it's just not fun anymore." Excuse my French, when the fuck did dating become fun?
Because, and that just literally reminded me of this one little snippet of a video that I always see, and it always constantly reminds me of it. And it's saying like what you just said, how people say like dating is not fun anymore. And he's like, well, dating isn't supposed to be fun. I'm like, if you want to have fun, you go to a sports game event, or you go play a game, or you do something like that. Dating isn't supposed to be fun. Dating is supposed to be a growing process with somebody. If you're dating someone for fun, you're playing with their heart, and no one wants their heart played with. So you should not be dating for fun. You should be, if you're not dating for marriage, then you shouldn't be dating at all. That's basically how he put it. That's basically how it's put. If you are not dating for marriage, you should not be dating at all. Period. And I actually agree with that. Because you wouldn't want anyone playing with your heart. Why would you be playing with somebody else's? Because in the end, no matter what, even a player gets played. So that's basically in terms of that. Let's see. Moni said exactly, Nate, talking about how we date like kids. Nate follows up and says she's supposed to make you grow and vice versa. Growth is scary. Yes, it is. Growth is very scary.
The thing would make growth scary is because people get so used to being in the same situation where they at, and they get comfortable with it,
Exactly.
and they don't want to expound and want to grow to be the person that God made them to be because they're scared of the unknown.
Mhm. And it's also very unexpected too. People don't like the unexpected. They like you said, comfortability. So due to the fact that growth is unexpected, no matter if it's planned or not, because it's just like in the beginning part of this song, uh, "Matrimony" by Wale and Usher, saying that marriage is like a roller coaster. You're going up and up and up and up, and you're just hearing this loud sounds. And no matter if you plan for it or not, you're on a roller coaster. You know you're on this roller coaster. You plan to get on this roller coaster, but once you get to that top, you're like, man, this is up high. And then all of a sudden you drop and you get scared, but you knew what you was getting into beforehand. This is just like with marriage. It is a certain level of growth that you must, I'm not going to say must go through, but that you will go through if that's something that you want. And regardless of the fact if you're ready or not, no matter how, regardless of the fact if you planned it out or not, it's still going to be something that's going to be a certain level of scary because it's something it's unpredictable. You don't know exactly what's happening, but you know what you're getting into at the same time.
I got you, man. Yo, Nate came with something. Let's roll back. Kim said, I think when people say no fun, it's because people play with people's hearts. That is so true. That Stephen just said that as
Yep.
well. And then Nate said, part of me growing is learning to be patient and listening, sacrificing, creating a reason for me to better myself.
Yep. Sometimes here's the thing. Sometimes listening is way better than talking. You got something you want to say, Shay?
I can see why Kimberly says she's falling in love with Nate. That's understandable, Kimberly. Oh man.
Oh man, so yeah, Kim follow
Kim
Steve.
says,
Oh,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Steve. I'm
No,
sorry.
go ahead, bro. You got it. Go ahead. I need some water.
She says, Steve, I hope you're right. And then it comes down and says, players get played.
Oh yeah. In the end of the day, no matter what, players get played at the end of the day, each and every time. No matter what, at the end of the day, they're gonna get played because guess what? Players are still human, regardless of the fact. Humans still fall in love. You a player, you're gonna fall in love with somebody, and guess what? That's gonna be the one that's gonna give you all that bad karma from all the women that hearts that you played, and she gonna come back and she gonna be that freaking succubus that's gonna make you think it what it is and what it really ain't, and you gonna be hurt like hell.
But what did Bill Bellamy saying how to be a player? The number one rule to being a player is adaptation.
It's adaptation. And what happened? What happened at the end of that movie, though?
That ass got played.
What happened at the end of the movie? He got the woman that he wanted because he fell for her, thinking that he was just gonna get some. And guess what? Adapt to that. At the end of it all, a player gets played. Period. Let's see.
That was a very underrated movie, I might say.
Oh, it was. How to Be a Player was a very underrated movie. It teaches you how to be a player and how not to fuck up, but you still fuck up.
Right. Moni said, I hope so, Steve. Then Nate came back. Intimacy is about growth. Pleasure in knowing who she and you really are. Getting pleasure from knowing her, and now you're dependent upon her or dependent upon each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Basically, exactly. Really, exactly. So I mean, like, I know we kind of probably like went way off for a second there. So that's my fault for that. But we was getting into the darker side of it, talking about people are together and not in love. And I was about to say, like, I know the more common thing is people have that whole pattern thing of falling out of love for somebody. which is something that doesn't happen overnight, which people fail to realize. And this is something that actually a lot of men fail to realize, is they think that a woman, like, man, she like just fell out of love with me just out of nowhere. No, bro, it was over the course of time. It's literally over the course of time. A woman doesn't just fall in love with a man over time. It's over the fact of all the shit that you did that you done fucked up with. And she just tired of it and like, you know what? Yeah, we here, but I no longer love you.
A lot of times, it's not the things that you've done. It's what you're not doing. It's the not listening.
Okay, that's it.
It's the not communicating, and pretty much it's not hearing what she's saying, not knowing what her love language is, not knowing what it takes to be her partner, and that's the biggest thing. And that's when she falls out of love, when you forget how to be her partner.
Yeah.
Like I said, I forgot to be your man, and that's the truest thing you said. You forgot to be her man. You do everything else, and you go through the whole rigmarole of the day, but the one thing that you forgot was how to be her man, or how to be in a relationship with that person, and that goes vice versa. That goes either way.
Yeah.
She forgot to be your woman. You forgot to be her man. It's just that it goes both ways. It's like you have to try to get back and stay in tune with what you have. And when you get out of tune, be receptive enough to talk to her and hear her,
yeah,
and try to make it better to where it's supposed to be. And that's a lot of times what we don't do.
They got a couple of comments here. Kim said, I had it happen in my marriage. It was over years. Basically, the time span that she felt out of love was over the course of years. They said, you didn't grow together. She grew, but you didn't. What's important? What do you need? Wait, what do you need, not want? Intimacy, bro. Intimacy, man. So
most definitely.
Like people need to understand that there's certain levels of intimacy. I'm really hoping, because I know we talked about this. I don't know how many times we've talked about intimacy is not just sex. Intimacy is not just sex. Intimacy is any form of time spending together. Any like just a hug can be intimate. Just sitting there talking to each other can be intimate.
It's that bond. It's the bond.
It's
the building. The bonding.
It's the QT. The QT can be intimacy. And that's what people fail to realize. Everybody think we're intimate. They think of, oh yeah, no. Grow up out of that. If you still think intimacy is just sex, you have not fully grown.
No, you are not. You are not, boy. You ain't.
I'm like, if you can sit down and talk, if you can literally like sit down and just talk to your mate, talk to whoever it is that you with, just about any just random stuff, and y'all just enjoying that conversation still, and that conversation just lasts and lasts and lasts, that is a level of intimacy that shows a form of growth within these two people that others have not even reached yet.
Do you guys know? And then I'm glad he brought up intimacy and just having a regular conversation. Do you guys know we all experienced a different type of intimacy when we were younger? We didn't know that's what we was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
When we would have those late night conversations on the phone, when your ass is not supposed to be on the phone. It's call me back after 9 o'clock, my minute's free. It goes from 9:05 to almost midnight. And you know you're supposed to be sleeping. You got to get up and go to school the next morning.
Yep. And
that's
intimacy
that we was experiencing and feeling at that time, and we didn't know.
Nope. Because back then, even if you knew what intimacy was, in at least a slight bit, you would think intimacy, of course, back then was just sex.
Yep. Because they use that word intimate.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But again, even using the word intimate does not always mean sex. They just think of it as such. You can have an intimate moment. Hell, you can just have a regular intimate moment. It'd just be y'all having dinner together. Candlelit dinner with the rose in the middle. That's an intimate moment.
Nate said, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Nate said, yes, Shay, laughed out loud. And then Nate saying to you, Steve, we didn't know. He said, that's why reading books help. I mean, a lot of times you just like, What was that? You got to get in tune with your star player, and your star player is you.
Yeah.
And you have to stay in tune into you, and you have to be the best version of you every night, every single day, every game, every day as a game. You have to be the best version of you.
Yeah, basically, 100%, 110% actually. Like I said,
but the biggest thing about that is that it's evolution, man. You got to want to grow too.
Yeah.
You got to want to grow, and if you don't want to grow, then man, you will what that you in emotional purgatory. To be honest with you.
Yeah, right there. Right there.
You emotionally stagnant. We're gonna say that loud for the people in the back. You emotionally stuck.
That's why I said you in purgatory. So yes, it's in purgatory. You stuck
purgatory,
like a
stuck, limbo, however you want to put it. You just right there. You in the middle. You right there in the middle. You not down here enough, but you ain't quite up there at that level. You just right here. You right there in that gray area that no one cares about. Go ahead,
you just existing.
Right.
You're not moving forward. You ain't moving backwards.
Living no more. You just existed. There you go. They say yes, sir. Then Kim said little things means the most, and then they said try reading books together.
We talking about reading the same book? Talking about reading the same book? Now I can agree with the whole trying to cook together. Cooking together, yes. I actually enjoy cooking with my mate. I legit.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. Mama in the background. I said, ain't no motherfucking body reading together.
That's how I love Mama. I love her so much.
Oh, you said you might want to read no day. Same thing. I'm sorry. Go.
No, you good.
I can't take Mama today. Mama acting up today.
Man, she was on fire that last time we heard in the background. That was love right there.
Oh, that was we
love.
needed to hear her in the background that day.
But Nate, I have done that before. It said read the same book together at the same time. I have done that before.
But like I said, I've done the whole cooking together at the same time. Though. That's great.
But it was a Zane book, so.
Oh yeah, we know what that led to right there. We know what that led to.
I'm done. At first, I was, got to give you credit, but here you come with the dang on thing. You know what? It's me and this guy who I went to college with. We was reading the same book, 48 Laws of Power. Okay, it was really, really, really good. Somehow our conversation it just stopped. Like conversation was really good because we would talk about the book, but then like after a while, conversation went to be consistent. Then it went like we'll go days without talking to each other, and then like everything just stopped.
Because the book was the thing that was binding you guys.
Yeah, once the book was ended, that was it.
Yeah.
Once a
particular book was binding you, and that attraction was there because that book was binding you, and the conversation was flowing.
But guess what? Once y'all was done talking about the book,
and then as y'all talking about the book, the conversation, blah blah blah, and then next thing got a little whoppy around there, and all that.
Yo, we are going to take the word whoppy out your vocabulary. You are
I think he in some way, shape, or form, he sneaks whoppy or whoppy inside of every episode. No matter when and where, he sneaks whoppy inside of episode. I can't. I'm done. I'm throwing my stuff around. I'm done. I threw a piece of paper. I'm gonna throw my water bottle next. Because he up here always
said, "No, bro, laugh out loud." He laughing at me about the Zane comment.
Yeah.
And he said to you, Shay, because it was about the book.
Yep.
And so that's what it was. It was all about the book.
It's all about the
book. So that's why the conversation flew. That's why the conversation was so wonderful. Because you guys, it was about the book.
Yeah.
And y'all can sit there, y'all can relate. Conversation can flow for hours at a time because the book was the main focus.
Yeah.
Let me find out. First off, I love to read. I love it. If I could get my own personal library in my home, that's where I would be. That would be my happy place. Like, yeah, that when I say I enjoyed that experience, I enjoyed it. Like, I didn't think I would, but it was like, oh, you read. Because most guys, of course, I'm not saying all of them, but it's a mass majority of guys that don't read. And I'm sure when females hear that, oh, you read, is a whole nother different. They're literally being mentally categorized in a different category. They're put in a different position versus those that don't read. So, yeah, I definitely removed him out of a category and stuck him like, oh, we can talk about this. And it was nice. It definitely was nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that Rocky showed up.
Why do we have to discuss this?
Okay, moving on from the Whoppy. Okay. Nate said, love language, you will see what kind of person you are and you will learn about each other. And Nate also laughed out loud. So y'all keep on talking this.
Can I talk on that?
Go ahead, feel free, have it.
Okay, so it was a late night conversation. For some reason, I don't know what it is. I'm always talking with somebody I went to college with. He brought up the 5 love language conversation with me. And I was surprised. I'm like, first off, I knew about the 5 love languages a while ago, but I never talked about it because at that point, I didn't take it serious. But then when I took the test to actually find out what my love language is, it was interesting. And so when he brought it up, he was definitely categorized in a different category. Once you know your partner's love language, everything else would come effortless. So that's really important because that's the way that's another different language to communicate. Like when you with somebody, y'all have a different type of language. That's the whole purpose of the phrase is me and you against the world. Because once we speak each other's language, can't nobody intervene in our situation. Can't nobody come in our space because nobody is talking the language that we talking.
Okay, I'm getting real intrigued with this love language thing now. I'm getting real intrigued.
It's 5 of them. It is 5 of them.
Is this a book or a test?
It's a test. Just Google 5 love languages. Google it. It should be a test attached. First off, anybody that's watching this, I highly recommend that you Google the 5 love languages. If it's a test, take it. Because a mass majority of us don't know our love language.
Okay. Everybody's like, Moni said like it's mind-blowing, Steve. Nate said before that, right shade with emphasis. Nate said the test is at the end. And then Moni said, prepare to have your world rocked. Okay, so all right. So I'm gonna do it. I'll do it and see what it is. What the hell?
Even more.
A little bit. It's 50. Come on, you gotta start moving.
I really do not want to go in this damn place.
Well, you there.
It's 50 hours. Yeah, it's 50. My clock's having it fast.
It's 50. Go ahead, rock it.
Unfortunately, you guys, I have to, clock in, go make the donuts. I'm the donut maker today.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pleasure being with you guys. My closing remarks for the show is find out what your love language is. When you find out what your love language is, you will then get closer to yourself. You will then get closer to knowing who can speak it, knowing who cannot speak it. And you can also get close to teaching someone that you're actually interested in how to speak your love language. That's it. And even if you're in a situation or a relationship, have them take it too. Because everybody don't know their love language. And you will be surprised. You probably thought your love language was one thing, and it turned out to be something else. So with that being said, I love you guys. Love you, Trey and Steven. You guys are awesome.
As are you.
And I gotta go make this money because I plan to act a fool in Cabo. See y'all.
Go ahead. See you later, Shay. All right, so y'all, that was Shay. She unfortunately now has a different time of work now, so she will only be with us up until this point, 50 minutes in, but which is still more than enough. We're still more than enough and appreciate her each and every time she comes up on here. Appreciate all of her input and everything that she says and does. I'm going to do this, but here's the funny thing. We didn't really talk too much about people who are in love and not, I mean, people who are together and not in love. We kind of like drifted way off.
But you know, man, sometimes, man, you can't stay on subject when the conversation flows.
Yeah.
And today we had an opportunity, man, where the conversation flows.
Oh yeah, and that's why I left it. That's why I left it be. I let it flow as it flowed. I left it flow as it flowed.
Yeah,
Because now I'm interested
flowed,
in this.
man.
I'm really interested in this love language thing, this five love language thing. I'm really interested in it, and I actually want to actually do this, and I'm gonna actually see what maybe that make me learn something more about myself. Who knows? And things of that nature. And then, like Nate just said, men should read The Way of the Superior Man. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I used to read books. I really haven't done so in years, but that probably might be my first book starting back. Nate made a suggestion. Hey, I'll try and find a way to download books onto my tablet and read that way. Go on from there. So yeah, I might be my first book in a long time, but I will read.
Cool.
So, but yeah, when it comes down to people who are together and not in love, we already know that there was the whole thing of somebody fell out of love and everything of that nature. We know that's mainly the main reason as to why it happens, because somebody in a relationship fell out of love. Somebody, relationship, marriage, whatever the case may be, they fell out of love, but they are together for whatever other reasons that they are, whether it be like financial reasons or, you know, like both of their names is on something together in the house or whatever the case may be. And at this particular time, it's hard to move around, which is completely honest. Kim is taking the test. We're taking the test right now. Tim's taking the test right now. All right, now have at that one, Kim.
Cool.
So when it basically barrels down to it, that when you are with somebody that you are not in love with, I'm pretty sure that's a very, very hard pill to swallow, because there's a good chance of possibility that you are in love with somebody else that you're not with. So that's why these two things really go hand in hand, because you could be in love with somebody that you are not with. And that right there is, for lack of any better words that I even want to use, is a mind fuck.
Simone came back, said, Kim, she's doing the same thing right about now. Got to see if hers is still the same.
Yeah. So like that could be like a utter mind fuck like that, because you don't know what you really don't know what to do in that particular situation, because the situation is different, because you never thought that you would be in such a situation that you are in love with somebody. You're no longer in love with somebody, but you still see their face every damn day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you, like I said, never thought that you would be in that situation, but now the situation is how it is. And it's a messed up situation.
Most definitely, man.
It's a messed up situation.
But the biggest thing is, man, is that, you know, the one thing that we have to do more than anything else, we have to, you know, like Nate said, you have to grow. Growth is the biggest thing. But also, man, you have to be true to you. Stay true to whom you are. And that's it. You know, that's the only way. That's the only way that you're going to make it happen. If y'all going to be together, you're not going to be together. But you have to be able to have growth, and you have to be true to who yourself is.
Yeah.
Simone said hers changed.
Okay.
So yeah. I mean, Simone took the quiz and hers changed. Okay, there you go.
So yeah, like you said, like being true to yourself, like that, like yeah, be true to yourself. Do not lie about what it is that you feel. Don't lie about it. Don't lie about it because you don't think that's what's right for you or anything like that. Because by you doing that, you are harboring in forms of negative feelings that you really don't need at that time, because you're already going through something else. Yeah. Don't harbor in those negative feelings, because it's not something that you want to feel right now.
But
know that it's
also,
there.
What you're saying, that's true enough. But also, you know, the one thing that we fail to do, that we don't do, even if we're, you know, we're not expressing ourselves or trying to harbor the feelings, whatever, we got to learn how to let go unhealthy ties.
Oh yes.
And that's the
Definitely.
biggest thing, letting go the unhealthy ties that's binding us.
Yeah.
So,
Because those things right there is like here's an example. You got two pieces of fruit that's hanging in the tree. There's you, and there's this piece of rotten fruit. Now that piece of rotten fruit was hanging by itself, is rotten on its own. You are still perfectly fine. But the moment that that rotten fruit touches you, it starts to pass
you're
on
gonna,
its toxins onto you and starts to slowly rot you.
there you go.
So you have to, as Dre just said, let go of those unhealthy ties. Those unhealthy ties can be more detrimental to you than you think.
Most definitely.
Like they
Most
wear you
definitely.
down, they burn you. Whether the fact if it's a person, a job, whatever, it doesn't matter.
No matter what it is, no matter what it is, if it's
Let it go.
unhealthy to your, if it's unhealthy to you, you gotta let that, you gotta let it go, family. Seriously,
Like seriously.
that you cannot let that tie continue to bind you in that situation. Period.
And this is the best, and this is the best way to know. This is the best way to know. Think about particular situation or person. Just think about it right now. If you're watching right now, think about a specific person or place or anything of that nature, and ask yourself, did you just smile? If you didn't, chances are that's toxic. Chances are that is toxic. If you thought about it, like I'm gonna say, like, okay, like, I'm gonna sit back, like, yeah, I
Man,
just
you
thought, I just,
talking?
I just thought of something. No, I just thought of something, and literally not smiling.
I got you on that. But
So,
yo, man, we come up on 6 o'clock, bro.
oh shoot, my bad. I'm looking at the clock up here, and it says 56 minutes. I'm not even looking at the bottom corner. I'm like looking up at this one, and I forgot we started a little bit later because
Gotcha,
because Lil Bit was up beside the gas station.
gotcha.
So I'm looking up at this and say 56 minutes, not realizing it's actually 5:59. So we're gonna go ahead and get ready to close out this episode and everything of that nature. Thank you, Mark. I try to be in the zone. You know, Dre and Shay be having it all day. I guess I had to have at least one. I had to have at least one because they the ones that be killing it each and every episode. So I
Man, it's
had
your
to.
show, bro. It's your show, man. It's
Oh
your show,
man,
fam.
I at least get. I can at least get one a month. I can at least get one a month. Ain't gonna be no more until November. It ain't gonna be no more until November. Just let you know that right now. I leave that up. I leave that up to them too. But before we go ahead and end this episode, Dre, you got any closing remarks in terms of this topic or anything else that we've talked about?
Man, all I want to do, man, I want to thank Simone. I want to thank Angie. I want to thank Brother Nate. I want to thank Kim. I want to thank Ashley for popping in and showing up for a second. I'm just trying to go back and see who I was there.
Yeah,
I want to thank everybody who was here today, even the ones who just watched the show. Thank you for watching and hanging out with us for a little while. We do appreciate you. I want to thank Alicia. Just know that we appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us for a little while. Thank
we
you.
do.
And with that being said, man, like I always say, man, you gotta love you more than you love anything else. Peace.
All right, I'm just gonna close out and saying basically about this particular topic. Um, it is very difficult when you are in love with somebody that you are not with. It is a difficult thing to actually go through.
Yeah.
I've been through it twice. I've been through it twice. No lie, been through it twice, and it's a
It's a hurtful
very
thing.
dragging feeling. It's a dragging feeling because you are in love with someone without, like how Nate said, never did anything with them, never nothing like that. You just fell in love with who they are. You fell in love with this person, who they are, how they are, whatever it is that they do. And it's just painful the fact that you never had them, and there's a possibility that you will never have them. So when it comes down to that, that's something that you painfully have to let go. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be a tooth pull without Novocaine. It's a tooth pull without Novocaine. But eventually, over time, that pain will go away. On the flip side, being with somebody that you're no longer in love with it's not as heart-wrenching, but it is also a downer as well, because now you're I'm not gonna say stuck, but you're inside of a situation that you really don't want to be in, but you are there, and you have to go with emotions until you're able to move on with whatever it is that you need to move on with. Whatever the situation may be, whatever your reason is for having to still be there, that's your reason, is until you can find yourself an out, or you make the decision on just re-upping the relationship, talking about it, whatever the case may be. Remember, communication is the number one thing. And of course, when it comes down to the 5 love languages and everything like that, like that is something to actually look into as well. So if anybody hears about these 5 love languages, if you've never done it, or if you have done it, go ahead and do it again, or do it for the first time. I'm going to do it right after I get off this show and see exactly what my love language is. And like Brunei said, the book, The Way of the Superior Man, I'm actually going to write that down right now. And like, this is going to be the first book I've read in a very long time.
Man, we're going to check that out, man, together, read up on it, and expound on some things, man.
Yeah, I'm going to read.
So we'll figure it out. We'll get it together.
Oh yeah, because I'm definitely going to see if I can download an app of some way, shape, or form onto my tablet to actually read a book. To read a book, hopefully for free or whatever the case may be, and work on from there.
Your ass.
Hey! It's all about saving money, man. It's all about saving money. Profit,
your ass.
Profit, man. Profit. So with all that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. Appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you to everybody who has commented. Dre named you all. So I do appreciate that. Appreciate the likes. Go ahead and share this video. Like I said, you never know, someone may need to hear it. Remember, we are live every Tuesday and Thursday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you don't know your time zones, look up the Windy City. You'll know where to find us. With all that being said, again, thank you all so much. You all have a beautiful night. And remember, as always, stay insightful. Peace.
Peace out.